So the holiday season is right around the corner. It is coming so quickly. It does every single year. So I wanted to do a holiday inspired get ready with me and share some of my staple products when I am looking to create a little bit more of a full glam holiday inspired look. I'm kind of getting back into colorful eyeshadow. So I thought I would do like a cranberry eye, a little bit more full glam when it comes to the base, and just use a bunch of my favorite beauty products. Everything that I'm using in today's video can be found at Macy's. And I do want to say thank you to Macy's for sponsoring today's video and working with me. I am so excited for today's video because I have loved Macy's ever since I was little, especially around the holiday season. I feel like I can find gifts for every single person in my life at Macy's. And instead of just doing like a typical holiday get ready with me, I thought I would feature some of my favorite gift ideas that you can find at Macy's. So if you're shopping for a beauty lover in your life, I've got you covered. These products, as well as some daily beauty staples that I cannot get enough of. So I'll link everything in the description box below. I'll also pin a comment with all of these products. That way, if you are looking to get ahead on holiday shopping or you're just looking to treat yourself, I have some amazing options to share with you. I actually also got this sweater from Macy's. I thought this was really cute and festive, and I love the bow touch. Okay, so while I was getting ready, I actually applied one of these lip oils. That's what I have on right now. This is the Kaja Extra Juicy Glass Lip Oil Duo. So it comes with two different lip oils. These are actually jumbo size, so you get a good amount of product in here. I'm wearing the shade Fig Smoothie, but I'll swatch them both for you just so you can see what they look like. First of all, Fig Smoothie smells so good. I can't quite place it. It kind of reminds me of something from childhood. Like, it's fruity, but it's a little bit more subtle. I can't get enough of it. These are incredibly smooth on the lips, very moisturizing. They're glossy and shiny without being sticky. So they're a great way to prep your lips if you're doing your makeup, but also to reapply throughout the day. And I feel like everyone loves a good lip oil right now. So this obviously would make a great gift, especially if you know someone who is kind of into beauty, but you're not fully sure of like their beauty tastes, whether they like more full glam or more subtle makeup. I feel like anyone could get use out of this. Okay, let's start with the complexion. So I am going to go in with more of a full coverage foundation, a very long wearing formula, but I want to prime the skin first. This is a kit from Smashbox. I love this kit because you get 5 different primers in one. Smashbox is really well known for their primers. They make amazing formulas. I've loved them for years. Their most popular is probably their original photo finish, but I think a year or two ago they redid the line and they kind of updated their other formulas. So in this set, you get the chance to try out the original photo finish, but also 4 additional primers. I have 2 favorites. I kind of go back and forth between the Primerizer Plus, which is a very refreshing, very hydrating primer. But I also love their mattifying primer, which is what I think I'll use in today's video because my skin does lean more oily. This is very smoothing, and it also helps my makeup just to last a little bit longer, which is perfect for the holidays. So I love this kit. I think it would be a great gift, but also just a good option for yourself if you're looking to try out some different formulas and you're not really sure which primer would work well for your skin. So I'm just going to focus this mainly on the center of my face. That's where I get the most oily, like right in my T-zone, right here, my forehead as well. Sometimes when you hear the word mattifying, it can be a little bit intimidating if you don't have really oily skin, but this formula is nice because it is more so smoothing. And it leaves your skin with a little bit of a velvety texture to it. So if you deal with acne or texture on your skin like me, this just kind of works to smooth everything out before you go in with foundation. One of my favorite foundation launches of 2024 is the Face Bond from Urban Decay. This is such a good formula if you're looking for a long-lasting, lightweight, full coverage foundation. Now you can customize it and create a little bit more of a natural look. Because it is such a thin formula, you can really blend it in, but you can also build it up to get more of that full coverage, full glam look without it feeling or looking cakey. I mainly wear the shade 5 Fair Neutral, but I'm going to mix in just a little bit of 7 Fair Neutral as well, just because I did get a little bit of a tan last month when we were at the beach. I love a full glam look around the holidays, but I tend to be a fan of a fuller coverage foundation just in general. I think it just creates a nice, smooth, even canvas. So if I am going in with a bold eyeshadow look or a bold lip, I feel like it kind of allows the focus to really be the eyes or the lips. So I'm a fan of this for the holiday season, but just in general, especially because it is such a lightweight formula. So I'm just going to blend a light layer on the skin, and then I'll go in and add a little bit more where I feel like I need more coverage. This foundation does have more of a matte finish, but I will say if you were to pair this with a glowy or hydrating primer like the Smashbox Primerizer, it does kind of adapt because it is so thin. So don't be intimidated by the fact that it has more of a matte finish, because I have heard people who have dry skin say they like this formula too. My face tends to be pretty red, so I usually try to match my neck and my chest, which are more yellow toned. So I feel like mixing these two shades together just works really well. Urban Decay does market this as a self-setting foundation. Because I have oily skin, I usually like to go in and just lightly set it with powder, but I will say I always end up using significantly less powder with this foundation compared to other formulas. So I would say if you have dry skin or even normal skin, you probably could get away without setting this foundation into place, because it really does kind of dry down and lock into place really well. Okay, I thought I would use a tried and true staple for concealer. I actually just repurchased this. I picked it up in a new shade. I usually use the shade Almond, which does work really well during the summertime, but this is the Too Faced Born This Way concealer, and I have the shade Snow. I have been using this ever since it launched. I want to say it was maybe 2017, 2018. And this is a good option as a concealer, but I also love using this in place of foundation. So if you are looking for more of a hydrating formula, this is a great option. It does have a nice soft satin finish, but it stays in place extremely well and it looks very skin-like while still providing coverage. So I'm just going to dot this on the center of my face, and I'm going to let it set for just a second while I go in with cream bronzer. This is actually a little bit of a newer product to me, also from Too Faced. I was talking about cream bronzer sticks in a couple of recent videos, and some of you recommended this one. It is their melting bronzing and sculpting stick in the shade Chocolate Mousse. First of all, this smells like chocolate. It smells so good. It kind of reminds me of the old school Too Faced chocolate bar palettes. This is an incredibly creamy, just beautiful formula. It melts into the skin in the most perfect way. So typically I'll just kind of, when it comes to cream contours and cream bronzers, draw them on the back of my hand and then blend them into the skin for a little bit more of a natural look. I also love the tone of this one because it's not overly warm toned. A lot of cream bronzers lean very, very orangey, which is why I was asking for some recommendations just in general of cream bronzers that are a little bit cooler. And I love the tone of this one. So again, this one's in Chocolate Mousse, but they do have some additional shades. I like to do bronzer and then blend the concealer in, because usually I'll just kind of throw the bronzer on and then I'll take a concealer or my foundation brush and go over the edges to create a little bit more of a seamless look. If you're looking for a very effortless formula though, I highly recommend this one. It also stays in place really well too, which is great because sometimes very creamy formulas end up wearing off super quickly, but that is not the case with this one. Okay, let me just blend out the concealer now, and then I will lightly set everything into place. But again, because they do claim that this is a self-setting foundation, like I said, I don't find that I really need a lot of powder, which is nice because I do love a little bit more of like that natural satin look when it comes to the finish of my makeup. And sometimes powder can take away from that, but you know, if you have oily skin, it's hard to skip powder. I'm actually just going to take the other side of this brush and use it to lightly contour my nose as well. For powder, I'm just going to take a little bit of the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores Press to set my under eye concealer and then lightly set the rest of my face as well. This is a very lightweight powder, which is perfect to use with this foundation. While the rest of my face is pretty oily, my eye area always tends to be a little bit dry, especially now that the colder weather is coming. So I don't like to apply too much powder in this area because it can tend to enhance dryness. So I like this powder, again, just because it is very lightweight. It's a little bit more subtle. It just lightly sets things into place without being too heavy. And it does have a nice smoothing property to it. So again, if you deal with texture, large pores, this is perfect, especially for this area right here. You can definitely see the difference in the texture of my skin with just a small amount of this powder. Okay, let's move on to the eyes and then I'll come back and finish the face. Actually, let me just do my brows off camera really quickly. So for the eyes, I'm going to be using one of my favorite palettes, especially as we head into the holiday season. I find myself reaching for this every single time I want to do some sort of like glam eyeshadow look. This is from Too Faced. It is the Appley in Love palette. First of all, the packaging is beautiful. This does have a really nice caramel apple scent, and I do think this would be a great gift gift if you know someone who loves eyeshadow palettes. It comes with the most beautiful shades in here that I actually think are perfect for the holidays. Typically when I use this, I am focusing on like these berry tones, which is what I'm going to do today. I think I'm going to use this shade all over the lid as well, but I also love that it has like your classic neutrals. So if you are more of a neutral fan, you can create like a very good staple neutral smoky eye, incorporate this gold for a holiday look. There are pops of greens, just a lot of very, very beautiful colors. Whenever I use it, it just puts me in a good mood. So I know I'll be using this all holiday season. Like I said, I am dealing with a little bit of dryness around the eyes. This right eyelid is fine, but the left one is a little bit more on the dry side. So if things look a little bit patchy over here, I'm going to blame it on my actual eye, and we'll go by how things look on this one. So I just took this lightest shade to kind of set the concealer that I had on into place. And I think I'm going to go in, I think I'm going to do like a really, really colorful look. So let's go in with this shade as the transition. This is the shade Core Values, and I'm just going to sweep this all over the crease. Sometimes I start with more of a neutral tone, but when I do want a little bit more of a colorful look, it always ends up being pretty pink in the end. So I figure let's just go for it from the start. And then I'll do the other eye off camera just to save a little bit of time. Okay, next I'm going to go right in with a berry tone in the crease and the outer corner. Now, sometimes when you are working with berries, they take a little bit of extra time to blend out. So I recommend just going in with a small amount and then slowly building it up. I think I'll start with this shade over here. This one is called Candy Apple. So I'm just going to start in the outer corner and then slowly build it up in the crease. So when it comes to holiday makeup, what do you tend to do? Do you tend to go for color on the eyes, or do you do a bold lip? Do you do both? I have really been loving a good bold lip lately. Like I feel like when we get a little bit closer to the holidays, I'll do like a lot of red lips and then gold eyeshadow. So maybe I'll do a video on that too. But this year I am really into colorful eyeshadow. I think it's so much fun. And then I usually keep my clothes a little bit more subdued. Like I like a lot of neutrals. So I feel like a pop of color on the eyes is such a fun way to incorporate color. I am going to go in with a really intense satin color, like in the same tone all over the lid. So I'm not going to really worry about this being perfectly blended below the crease. I just want the blend to be a little bit better above the crease. I'm just going back in with that transition shade just to lightly blend everything out. I will end up cleaning up afterwards, but I want to wait to the very end to do that. I'm going to take the shade Appley in Love, which is like my favorite shade in the entire palette, and I'm just going to place this all over the lid. This is probably one of the prettiest eyeshadows I've ever used. It's very smooth. It has this gorgeous satin texture to it. So it's really interesting to me because a lot of shadows that I tend to love that are very smooth and creamy like this are more metallic, but I kind of like the satin finish on its own. If you really like color, you could totally stop here. And I feel like this makes a very beautiful, just kind of like easy monochromatic holiday look. And you could go in with a nude lip or even a bold lip, and that would be really pretty too. I'm just going to take this brush that I was using for the outer corner and kind of blend out the edges. But I am going to go over it with a little bit of a brighter kind of sparkly topper shadow, just to add a little bit more glam to the look. Okay, don't worry, I am going to go in and clean this up so it'll all come together in the end. It kind of is one of those things where it looks worse before it gets better, but let's go in with this sparkly topper. I love this shade so much too. I feel like it just adds like the perfect touch of sparkle, but also like a little bit of color. It's almost like mixing this with the shade that I have on the lid kind of creates a little bit of a pinky look. This is the shade Sparkling Cider. And I'm just going to lightly tap it, mainly focusing on the inner 2/3 of the eye. Okay, so here's what it looks like with the sparkling topper or the sparkling cider shade as a topper. I like it because I feel like it adds a little bit more dimension to the look. And to me, it just kind of strikes me as more of a holiday kind of fun party type look. Okay, I'm just going to lightly clean up the edges. I have like a tiny amount of concealer on this brush, just to kind of sharpen everything up a little bit. And then I will do eyeliner, the lower lash line, and we'll finish off the look with some mascara. If you know someone who's into makeup, but you're not sure what types of colors they like to wear, whether that is blush or eyeshadow or lip products, this is such a great set because it comes with 4 staples. It's from Tarte. It comes with 2 eyeliners and 2 mascaras. And what's nice about this set is you can obviously purchase it for one person, or you can split it up because each of the products comes individually packaged. So it's perfect to split up, throw in stockings, add on top of another gift. And the packaging actually has like a little to and from on it. So I feel like it's just extra giftable. So in this set, you actually get 2 different mascaras. You get the Tarte Lip Tubing Mascara, which is one of my favorites. I think it makes your lashes look really thick and dramatic. And then you also get the Tarte Lights Camera Lashes Mascara, which is great for building up the drama. I've repurchased this a few times over the last few years. And then you get 2 liners, technically 3 because this one is a dual-ended liner. This is the Double Take Eyeliner. So one side is a black pencil liner, which I'm going to use to tightline. And then the other side is like a very small, precise liquid liner, which is perfect for creating a subtle wing or a more dramatic wing too. And then you get a light nude liner, which is great for the waterline if you want to brighten up the eyes. So let's start with the double take liner. I always take a black pencil liner and just draw it like right under my lashes to create more of a full effect. This liner will stay in place really well. You can also use it to line your upper lash line if you want as well, or your lower lash line, wherever you're into black liner. But I love using it at the base of my lashes just to create more of a full look because I don't have great natural lashes. Okay, so moving on to the liquid liner, I'm going to use this to create a wing. I love a good winged eyeliner look, and this is nice because it is very rich, very dramatic, but it also stays in place really well. Okay, next I'm going to take the Fake Awake eyeliner and use this on my waterline. I do think you could go a couple of different ways with a look like this. You could do a pop of color, you could do black for more drama, but I do love a light nude just because I feel like it opens up the eyes. And this one is very, very creamy, which is great. Sometimes with eyeliners like this, they end up wearing off in just a few minutes, or at most a few hours, but this one actually dries down and stays in place well. So for the lower lash line, I'm trying to decide if I want to go a little bit softer. I'm going to start with this lighter pink, but then I might go into the matte candy apple shade. So I'm just going to take a little bit of Core Values and blend that on the lower lash line just to tie the whole look together. I can't decide if I want to go more dramatic on the lower lash line or keep it just a little bit softer. I'll take a little bit of candy apple and blend that in. Sometimes this looks a little strange before I go in with mascara, but once I have mascara on, I feel like it all ties together. To finish up, I'm just taking the lightest shade from the palette and really blending out that edge so nothing looks too harsh. And that's pretty much it for the eyeshadow. Actually, let's do an inner corner highlight. I love this shade right here. This one is called Smitten. I think an inner corner highlight is just so much fun for every day, but especially for more of a holiday glam look. It's like that little extra added touch. This would actually be really pretty all over the lid too if you want a brighter lid. For mascara, I can't decide which one to go with. I do love both of these. I think I'll go with the Lights Camera Lashes. I think this one is slightly easier to build up if you want more drama. And I think I will layer it up quite a bit for today's look. I'm not going to do false lashes, but I feel like I can still get a pretty dramatic look with this one. Like I said, this is a really good mascara for building because it just layers really nicely on top of itself. So I'm going to take a few minutes to kind of really layer it up to get a dramatic look. Okay, so here's one good coat of the mascara in case you're curious to know what it looks like. I do think it is a little bit more of a dramatic mascara, but let's build it up and I'll show you what it looks like layered. Okay, so the eyes are done. Let's move on to cheeks and then lips, and then I'll be finished. So I am going to take a little bit of powder bronzer. This one is from RMS Beauty. It is their ReDimension Hydra bronzer, and I have the shade Beach Walk Betty. I'm just going to take a small amount of this. I like this formula because it's glowy, and there's just something about a glowy bronzer for a holiday look. It adds just a little bit of, I don't know, what's the word? I guess because the rest of my face is pretty matte, just a little bit of luminosity on the cheeks is perfect. I think I'm going to keep the blush a little bit more subtle and maybe focus more so on the highlight. Actually, I don't know. I feel like a good amount of blush would also complement this look. So this palette is from Too Faced. This is such a good gift option. If you have a blush lover in your life, I love this palette for them because it does come with 4 really beautiful shades. I mean, you get 3 blushes and then a highlighter. This is one of my favorite blush formulas. I think it launched last year, and then I love that they put the different blush shades in a palette because you get some different different options. You can mix and match or just go in with one. It's such a creamy, smooth formula. It basically gives your skin like this gorgeous blurred look. I don't know the exact value breakdown off the top of my head. I'm going to go in with the shade Velvet Crush, which is this one right here. I talked about it in a video though. The amount of product you get in this palette for the price is truly such a great deal. And again, you get 3 different blushes, 1 highlighter, so it's a really nice way to kind of give added value with your gift. I'm just going to go over the edges with my foundation brush, just so I don't have anything too harsh on the cheeks. And then I'm just going to take the highlight shade in this palette and layer that right on the top of the cheeks. And I'm just going to go, no, let's use a lot of highlighter today because it is more of a holiday glam look. At first I was like, I'll keep it subtle, but I feel like highlight and the holidays, I mean, the holidays are the perfect time to go heavy with highlight. The nice part about this formula is it's very, very smooth. So it doesn't really look like overly metallic on the cheeks, which is nice. For the lips, I'm going to be using this set from Tarte. This is probably one of my top gift recommendations. So this is their Best of Maracuja Juicy Lips set. So within this set, you get 4 full-size products. I definitely recommend checking this out, even if you're not looking to give it as a gift and you just like this line from Tarte, because basically you get 2 free lip products within this kit. Again, it comes packaged, so you can easily separate it and give it as 2 separate gifts. You can keep one for yourself, give another to a friend. So I'll swatch these for you so you can see the different shades. You get 2 of the Maracuja Juicy Lip Plumps, which tend to be a little bit more on the sheer side. You also get the plumping lip oil, which I love so much. It makes your lips look really glossy, very smooth, but it's also very lightweight. And then you get one of the lip vinyls, which has a lot more pigment. So I love that you get to try out the different formulas. The shades are within a similar color family, but there actually is a good amount of variation within this set. So you get quite a few options. So first I'm just going to line my lips with the Maracuja Juicy Lip Liner in the shade Soft Pink. This is an incredibly long wearing lip liner. It's very easy to apply, very creamy, but it dries down fast. So as soon as you're done lining your lips, I feel like it locks down and it does not move. And then for the actual lip color, I think I'm going to go with the shade Buffed Rose, which is a really beautiful nude. I think this just kind of complements the eye look. Since I want the main focus to be on the eyes, that's kind of where I incorporated the color. I think I'll keep the lips a little bit more subtle, but I love that this is such a glossy formula. Really gorgeous, super comfortable. I mean, these products have gone viral for a reason. They really are beautiful. To finish out the look, I'm going to seal everything in with the Urban Decay All Nighter, which is one of my favorite setting sprays. I know I've talked about this set on my channel before, but this is one of my favorite sets. Urban Decay typically does something pretty similar every holiday season, but if you love this setting spray as much as I do, this is an amazing value. And again, a great option for gift giving, or like I said, with some of the other options, you could split it up, keep one for yourself, pass one along, because again, they are individually packaged. So you actually get 2 full-size setting sprays, and one setting spray will last a really long time. But again, if you love this formula and you go through it quickly, I love this set. I'm just going to shake it up and spray it all over my face to lock things in, and I'll be right back. Okay, so this is the final look. Thanks for hanging out with me. I had so much fun filming today's video. I love holiday inspired makeup, so I'm sure I'll be back soon with another video like this, maybe focused on like a bold lip or a gold eyeshadow look. I also have some additional holiday gift guides planned for you, but definitely check out the products I mentioned in today's video at Macy's. I'll link them in the description box below, and thanks again to Macy's for sponsoring today's video. They have so many amazing gift options for everyone in your life, but definitely a lot of great options in the beauty area, not just makeup, but skincare, perfume, so many great picks. So thanks again for watching today's video. I really appreciate it. I'll see you very soon with a new one. Bye.